Hello everyone, my name is Callum Moore, and today I'll be showing you why drug testing is not only against our human rights, but why it's hurting us as a nation in the long run. Advocates of the legislation that allow for drug testing claim that they will save money by getting those, and I quote, those evil drug users off the government teat, thereby reducing the expense of the welfare system. Wow, sounds great, doesn't it? Who doesn't like to save money? According to Think Progress, 7 states have existing drug testing programs, and these 7 states are Arizona, Kansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Utah, and Tennessee. In addition, Montana, West Virginia, Maine, and Michigan claim that they will save money by getting all of the drug users out of their aid program and thus reducing spending on benefits. Now, what people should and are doing is asking how many people are actually using drugs that are on the welfare system. If you look at the national drug use rate, is only 9.4% of people in the US actually use drugs. And in the programs that specifically test for drugs, there is a range from 0.002% to 8.3% of people, and all but one state have a percentage below 1%. So you may be asking yourself, how much is the cost of testing? How many people are actually on welfare? And of those people who are on welfare, how many people are actually tested for positive for drugs? In Kansas, it costs $40,000 every 6 months to run the drug test program. There is 2,783 people on the welfare program, and only 11 people have been tested positive last year. Those numbers are probably shocking. Why are we spending all that money for minimum results? Keep that in mind as I show you more facts. In Missouri, it costs $336,297 per year to run the drug testing. There is 38,970 people on the welfare program, and only 48 people have been tested positive for drugs. Whereas in Mississippi, it costs them $5,290 per every 5 months, 3,656 people on welfare, and only 2 people were tested positive for drugs. Ask yourself, what could you have done with $336,927 last year? According to the ACLU, the Center of Addiction and Mental Health, CAMH, is against drug testing welfare recipients. CAMH believes that there is little benefit to testing, and the stigma associated with the testing negatively impacts the welfare recipients' mental health. They recommend that the resources should be put to better use, such as drug prevention, drug treatment, and better training for drug government officials to detect signs of substance and mental abuse. The process to apply is very difficult emotionally, and to ask people to do random drug tests is going too far. This drives people away from using the welfare program because they don't want people to assume they do drugs, which is a stereotype people who have use on welfare. According to ACLU, most types of drugs tests fail to detect alcohol abuse, which is the most commonly abused substance among Americans. The tests are most likely to detect marijuana because it stays in your system for up to 40 days. Marijuana is legal in 4 states, and you can purchase it for medical reasons in 23 states. Cocaine lasts up to 4 days, heroin lasts up to 4 days, meth lasts up to 5 days, ecstasy lasts up to 4 days, and PCP lasts up to 14 days, but alcohol lasts up to only 24 hours. In Michigan, there also was a court case that challenged whether or not the drug testing was indeed going against the Fourth Amendment. This case was a lawsuit on behalf of all Michigan welfare recipients, including Tarna L. Montwinski and Terry J. Coency, both single mothers on welfare, and as well as Wellside Mothers, which is a 500-member advocacy organization created for and by the families in need. The Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that drug testing of applicants and recipients was unconstitutional. Carrie Moss, the executive director of ACLU and an attorney in the court case, quoted, "The Fourth Amendment guarantees that no individual in this country can be subjected to the search by the government unless there is a reasonable suspicion that they have committed such crime. She also quoted, "Welfare recipients may be poor, but that's not a crime. Not yet, anyways." End quote. So who does it really affect? Who really is affected by this drug testing of welfare recipients? It's the children. According to John Hopkins from the Berin Institute of Biomedics, American children are already the nation's poorest age group, with those of ages 5 and under being the poorest. Childhood poverty has lifelong effects. Children are hungrier, less academically successful, at greater risk of being homeless, and likelier to develop health problems than wealthier children. Studies have shown that a longer a child lives in poverty, the greater the negative effects will be on the social, mental, and physical health. In conclusion, drug tests for welfare recipients and applicants is wrong. It goes against the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. It goes against the Fourth Amendment. It goes against the U.S. Constitution. It is wasting Americans' valuable time and resources, and not to mention, in Missouri, for example, it is costing the taxpayers up to $300,000 a year to run this program, only to catch 48 people using drugs. May I remind you, alcohol, caffeine, tobacco, and marijuana are all considered to be drugs. For this and for many other reasons, I urge you to reconsider the process insulting people in need. I believe that Ronald Reagan said it best. We should measure the welfare's success by how many people leave welfare, not by how many people are added. Thank you for your time.